More news now from Norfolk, Suffolk and Essex. A witness in the trial of a 70-year-old man accused of indecently assaulting boys has told how he was abused in a swimming pool changing room. Henry Day from North Walsham is on trial for 22 offences. The witness told the jury he was scared to report the alleged abuse to police because he believed they knew the defendant. Day, who's received an MBE for his work with youngsters, denies all charges, which date from 1973 to 1995.
The new Chief Constable for Essex has been announced. He's Jim Barker McArdle, the only applicant for the position after two others withdrew earlier in the process. Originally from Southend, he previously served as the Deputy Chief Constable of Kent Police.
An investigation's been launched after the body of a dog which had been weighed down with bricks and dumped in the River Stour was discovered.
It was washed up near a house in Long Melford near Sudbury, but now the owner of the house has been told that she'll have to dispose of the body herself. You may find some of the pictures in Hannah Pettifer's report disturbing.
Mary Russell's still in shock after making the grim discovery in her garden on Monday morning. The dog had been in the water for so long that its breed could not be properly identified, but it's believed to have been a Great Dane. It had been wrapped in wire and tied to wooden planks, weighted down with bricks and a sledgehammer. Its head had been tied down with cable ties.
Quite certain that it wasn't put into the water dead. I wouldn't see the point. It would take two men to do that at least, and time to lash the dog that securely. So it's a vicious thing to do.
These are some of the photos Mary took of the discovery. Many are too graphic to show. In a statement, the RSPCA said this was a very shocking and disturbing incident, and we would like to hear from anyone who may have any information about it. It's not known whether the animal was alive when it was thrown into the river. Mary had asked Bayburg District Council to help, but they said although it's a distressing situation, she'll have to dispose of the body herself because it's on private property.
We're going to give them till Friday, and some friends of mine and I will get it out on Friday evening, dig a hole and bury it in the garden. Enough has been done to it.
The police have also been called in to investigate. They're urging anyone who knows anything about the incident to come forward. Hannah Pettifer, Anglia News.
Now, the Foreign Secretary David Miliband was in Ipswich today to see how the town is gearing up for the 2012 Olympics. He mingled with amateur athletes and world champions like local Olympic hero Karen Pickering at Northgate Sports Centre. The Foreign Secretary even made a pledge to take up running again as part of a campaign to get the whole country excited about the Olympics.
Well, I think it's Britain 2012. It's not just London 2012, because the whole of the country is going to have the spotlight of the world on it. And the whole of the country can contribute, but we've also got to make sure that places like Suffolk get the benefit in terms of facilities that comes from having international sporting teams wanting training sites and wanting locations in the run-up to the Olympics. And I think that the preparations that are being made are extremely impressive.
Two of the region's football clubs under threat from closure have won some breathing space, giving them time to settle their debts. At the High Court today, winding up proceedings against Harlow Town were adjourned for 63 days. Its parent company has been threatened with closure over unpaid tax bills. Moves to wind up Kings Lynn Football Club were postponed for 84 days after the club repaid half of its debt to Revenue and Customs.
They say never work with children and animals, but that didn't seem to bother the Princess Royal today on a whistle-stop tour of Norfolk.
First, she met dozens of dogs at a rescue centre before talking to youngsters about books. Natalie Gray was there as well.
Since the Princess Royal opened this dog centre at Snetterton 8 years ago, the charity's rehomed an incredible 4,300 animals. She was back today to find out how the Dogs Trust had been hit by the recession, and it wasn't good news.
It is difficult to rehome in these times, but what we certainly are finding that our waiting list for dogs waiting to come in from people who can't afford to keep them have grown enormously.
I gather some dogs are even being left at your gate as well.
Never happened before in the 11 years that I've been here, but over the course of 3 weeks we had 3 dogs tied up to the gate outside.
Now, we know that Princess Anne is a great horse lover, but she's also a great dog lover too, and has 2 English Bull Terriers called Dottie and Agatha. The Princess was particularly impressed with the new chill-out zone for stressed pets. Next stop was the new £2 million library in Wymondham. Princess Anne talked books with a group of schoolchildren and found that she and 10-year-old Flo Wright had similar tastes.
She noticed this one especially, Famous Five, and she said that it was quite old and she probably read it.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I think I have read that one and I really enjoyed them.
Then Robert Marjoe plucked up courage to ask a question.
What was your favourite book as a child and why?
And what did she say?
She said, well, it was such long ago, she couldn't remember.
Children and animals certainly don't fluster this hard-working royal. Natalie Gray, Anglia News, Norfolk.
I like the idea of the stress-out centre. Now, the final leg of the Special Olympics Flame of Hope began in Wymondham today. The torch relay was led by officers from Norfolk Police and members of the Eastern Regional Special Olympics Squad. The flame is being taken to Leicester ahead of the Special Olympics, which start on Saturday.